Slip off the rear and turn, turbulent mood inside. No, it may depend upon your life. Gracious people shine, as chaos will subside. Let thoughts focus in on times of life. Happy you don't mind, collision awaited time. It's gonna be
That's okay.
I don't think you're wrong. I don't know you're right, but I know you.
Okay, so pro tip. Well, first pro tip, don't drink this stuff. It's terrible for you. I'm just lazy and don't want to make coffee. But the second actual tip is if you ever come to Norway or Iceland, they both apply. Don't buy drinks basically at all from a gas station. Just go to the grocery store. They're literally like 60%, 70% cheaper. And the grocery store here is only like, I don't know, a minute away. It's actually crazy how different the price is. Anyways, just food for thought or drinks for... Okay, bye.
All right, so the last tip I have for you is to shoot in a more minimalist style. This is probably one of the more difficult tips in this video because it needs you, the photographer, to look at the world in a different way. For some of you out there, that's already natural. You already look at the world, especially in photography, as more abstract and minimalist. However, for me, someone that shoots bigger scenes or cascading lights and all that stuff, it's harder for me to find minimalist images.
All right, so after taking that photo of the mountain and the waves, I filmed a bit for my video that's going to be coming out about how to get good photos during overcast light. You've been watching little bits and pieces of it here and there throughout my vlogs here in 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐿. But soon after that, the weather has gone full-on blizzard. Not that you can really tell, but the visibility is very low. And I was planning on shooting sunset since it's my last full day here in 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿, but I don't think that's really going to happen. I'm going to sit around and wait. I might drive to the other side of the coast. Maybe it's clearer over there. Maybe we'll get something, maybe not. The KP index tonight is actually pretty high, just like it was last night. So there should be aurora. I just don't know if these conditions are gonna get any better till then. Now, I will admit that a lot of the time some of this stuff comes and goes like that. Like the weather will change in 10 minutes, which is also a pro tip if you're ever up here. Do not trust the weather. Don't trust it. Like there was a day where it said it was gonna be sunny and it was just snowing. There was a day where it was supposed to be snowing for like 4 hours and it was just partly cloudy and sunny the entire time. So I would just suggest not trusting the weather. But anyways, I'm gonna get back on the road. Maybe we can find something, maybe we can't. All right, so right there is the hill. Up there is where I shot the aurora. That little black thing is, I think it's Star of David. Shot the aurora from there, in that direction, and this direction, and it was absolutely gorgeous. All right, so you can probably tell from the clips, there was no sunset. The snow just kept coming down and it was super gray and overcast. So I'm back in my room trying to decide what I want to do for dinner. The KP index tonight is super high, but I don't think we're gonna be able to see anything because it is pretty gray and overcast. Obviously if the clouds let up some, then I will include you along the way. And if they don't, then I'm going to merge this with tomorrow's stuff because I gotta drive back north to fly out of here tomorrow. Well, the next day, but I'm driving up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And if you have any questions about any of the stuff in Norway, make sure you leave a comment down below and feel free to ask anything.
You remind me of so many things. You remind me of ours, golden hours, coloring. You remind me of light shining through, twirling, dancing across the room. You remind me of falling rain.
Good morning, everyone. Okay, so the plan this morning was to shoot sunrise over in Fredvang, which is about 20-25 minutes away, where those two bridges line up and the giant mountain is there with my drone. That's the shot that I've been wanting. But when I woke up, it looked like the sun was going to get blocked by clouds, even though it was pretty clear aside from on the horizon. So I didn't want to invest too much time because I didn't think we're actually in it that sunrise light that I need. So instead, I came here to the tried and true spot of this mountain here, behind all of the little red fishing village house things, and I'm just sitting and waiting for the light. Now, there's a bunch of photographers out there standing in the snow waiting for the light, and I'm doing what I call the lazy man's photography, but I think in this case it's actually just a smart way to do it. I'm just sitting in my warm car waiting for the light. But the shot for me is pretty easy. I already know where I'm going to take it. I already know what settings I'm going to use. All I gotta do is get out there, throw my camera between that fence, and take the shot. So I'm just gonna keep looking at the conditions here and see when it's worth getting out to take the shot. Efficiency, but I'm also warm, so I like that. Hopefully the sun actually peers through enough to create some light on the mountain. If it doesn't, I'll see if there's any shots worth taking and take you along for the ride. All right, so we came out here because it looked like the color was gonna happen on our shot. The sun is somewhere over here being blocked by these clouds. And like I said, that's our shot. I'm set up down here. And as luck would have it, that's where the color is, over here. And over here. That's pretty, really pretty, but it's not really a shot over there. Compositionally, not from here at least. So, yeah. That's about the luck. Shot. Color. Car. Hey, pardon the interruption. I just want to say thank you for all the support. And if you wanted to help support me in more ways than just liking or subscribing to this channel, you can do that with a little link down below where you can find things like my Patreon. Patreon is a really great way to help support me living on the road full-time and making content like this. You can get credit at the end of every video for helping support me. You get access to raw edits that I do from time to time. You can even get a postcard from me once a month. So check that out down below. You can also check out my Lightroom editing companion. Maybe you're a photographer and you want a more linear workflow directly built into Lightroom. You can also find that in the link. You can find things like my workshops, you can find things like prints, or anything in between. All of it helps, and if you can't do any of that, just sharing this video with someone in your family or a loved one that might be interested in travel or anything of that nature. Let's get back to the video.
Falling rain, yeah, that sweet, sweet sound on my window pane. You remind me of the sky so blue. I'm gonna hold on tight to you.
All right, so that was quite the adventure because I got up there and the conditions were not great. I waited a little bit and I packed up, walked back to the car, and as I was putting my tripod literally in the car, I could see the sun cresting the peak of those clouds, and I was like, oh man, we could get some really nice light. So I looked back here in the mountains and it was starting to catch, and I went back up there, set back up really quick, and it really paid off. Spent the next maybe 30 minutes shooting all different kind of conditions. At the beginning, it was kind of this nice red light as the sun was coming over those clouds. and then it got a little bit more orange, and then it started snowing at some point, and then it stopped snowing, and there was a lot of atmosphere. And because it had looked so bad for so long, I was the only one on the bridge. So that was kind of nice. And I was trying to get my shutter speed. So I was actually bracketing, but not because I think I need the data. So I was using a 3-stop filter and a polarizer for two reasons. One, to cut out the reflections in the water. But the reason I'm using a 3-stop filter was so that I could slow my shutter speed down on my overexposed image, so that I could hopefully not only see the rocks that are in the water, because I think they add a really nice element to the composition, but also so that the water doesn't have a bunch of like very sharp waves in it and they're more spread out. So my shutter speed on my overexposed image was about 3 to 4 seconds, which will add some nice movement in the water. Now, specifically, I could just edit this entire image using one exposure. I didn't need the dynamic range of multiple exposures, but I wanted that longer exposure for those waves to be not looking so sharp and they have more movement in them, and so I can bring out those shadows in those rocks. That's the image, and I think a few turned out for sure. Anyways, I'm gonna go take a shower, and then we're leaving Lofoten today. It's a little bittersweet, but you have to leave eventually, right? So, thanks for watching. Here are the images.
You remind me of a warm summer night, yeah, the breeze through the trees, flickering fireflies. You remind me of birds that sing. You remind me of my favorite things.
As I drove north on my last day here in Norway, I thought a lot about how challenging this trip was for me, not only as a photographer, but as a person. I came into this trip hoping to reinvigorate my passion and love for making videos and photos, because prior to this, I had taken a few weeks off because I was feeling creative burnout. And I got here thinking that this was going to be an absolutely gorgeous place. I was going to take a lot of amazing images. I was going to see the aurora a bunch. And then I got here, and as you can tell throughout all of these vlogs, how hard the conditions were to photograph and just how hard they were to exist as a person in such a beautiful area. It challenged me mentally, it challenged me. I felt like an imposter sometimes. I wondered if this is what I should be doing. But at the end of all of it, I still came away with some images I loved. But more importantly, I came away with a journey and experience as a person and a photographer that helped remind me that the world doesn't deliver the things that you need when you need it. And it's all about perspective of enjoying the things around you and finding the happiness that's there in front of you, regardless of the conditions or the results that you're getting. And that's what I really found over the course of this trip, was that no matter if I took my camera out, no matter if I took any photos, I just really enjoyed and loved being there and reminding myself of how lucky I am to still be here, to still be existing, to still be out there taking photos, regardless if I'm sitting in the car for 9 hours waiting for the conditions to change or not. I'm lucky to be doing it and having the privilege to do it. And a lot of that comes from you. So thank you for supporting me. Thank you for listening. And thank you for watching this series. As always, you can like the video if you liked it. Consider subscribing if you loved it. There's got to be some rainbows out there somewhere. There definitely wasn't any in Lofoten, though. See you next time.